Dude, you guys, what's up? I'm Hildy. Welcome to my Autism Disco, episode 6, which has been, in the works for a minute. Uh, at some point, you guys, I will not have to start essentially every single episode like this, but this is still where we are. So, this is still where we are. Ta da! Um, and at some point, I will be able to share all of the bullshit that I've been going through for the last few years. It's kicking my ass, you guys. It's fucking kicking my ass. But uh, it is what it is. You know what I mean? There's nothing I can fucking do about it. I mean, whatever I can do about it, I'm doing it every single fucking day. And that's the best I can do. So I just have to keep going. But yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot. Yeah. Again, the people who know me in real life, who know the details of what's going on, are at this point still immensely impressed that I am still standing. And doing better than just still standing, right? My life definitely doesn't look like I want it to look. It doesn't look like I expected it to look at this point in my life. And it doesn't look like it will look soon, right? That's what I have to hold on to. It's going to look a lot different pretty damn soon. So, anyway, I don't know that I can see the light at the end of the tunnel, but maybe the horizon is brightening slightly. I don't know. We're definitely getting to the home stretch. So anyway, I'm a disaster, like usual. But you guys, something happened. Dun dun dun. I know, and probably some of you are here because of what happened. Because I posted about it on Threads, of course, like you do. But it concerns my health, you guys. Yeah, and I still can't completely wrap my head around it. But essentially, I went to the doctor, and as you guys know, I fucking hate going to the doctor. Right, but I've been off, like I mentioned, since like the beginning of the year. I mean, I've been off my whole fucking life, but um, this latest stretch, I've been particularly off since the beginning of the year, health wise. And like I mentioned, I'm not in a flare, but I can't quite tell what's going on. Clearly something. But what I went to the doctor for was something specific. And at this point, I assume that essentially any new symptom that crops up is just related to all the other bullshit, right? Because that's kind of proven to be the case thus far. So I've been dealing with this rash, right? I know, it's glamorous topic of conversation, like usual. And it sort of started off like something I've had before that sort of comes and goes and is not particularly super bothersome, simply because it usually fucking goes away after a while. But this time, and I don't know if it's exactly the same thing, it's in the same spot with the same sort of characteristics, but again, who the fuck knows, right? So it's back, but it's been back for some number of months, like, I don't know, maybe 6 months at this point or something. And yeah, I haven't published my full list of histamine intolerant symptoms yet. I think I have that ready to be published. I gotta double check. But a lot of my symptoms are skin based, right? Dermatologically based. I don't know. Is that a word? Maybe. Right, like you would expect with, allergy immune type responses, right? So the eczema and the random just itchy shit. I don't get a lot of hives, which is hilarious. That's part of the reason why UCSF wouldn't help me, you guys, because I don't get chronic hives. Seriously. They're like, oh, well, you don't get hives? Well, sorry, we can't help you. I was like, really? What about all these dozens of other symptoms that I get? You don't care about those. It's hives or nothing, right? Hives or bust, apparently. Right, and some of it I have been able to identify, right, and properly treat. Some of it is just it's random itchy skin stuff. You know what I mean? You guys know what I mean. Some of you know what I mean. But anyway, Right, but because I have all this topical shit that I deal with, I have a bunch of topical prescription based ointments and creams and all the rest of it, right? Unfortunately, most of what I had was expired, right? Because I've been doing so much fucking better. And I know when medications are expired, it doesn't mean that like the active ingredient is not at all active anymore. But essentially, what I had was not doing the trick. And I had tried like three different things on it. So anyway, so I went to the doctor, right? Because at a certain point, it just gets fucking annoying and I want it gone, right? Again, it's not like super symptomatic. It's not super itchy. It's not like, yeah, but it's just there and I don't like it and I want it to fucking go away. So I went to the fucking doctor. And again, I think I've mentioned I've been part of a family practice for a really long time, like 15 years or something like that. And we had a family doctor. Yeah, she treated all of us. I like that idea in medicine, a family doctor who can literally see every family member, keep track of the patterns, right? Like know what's going on with everyone. I don't know. That just makes a lot more sense to me. But anyway, when I was really sick with that first flare, she left the practice. And I have not had a primary care physician since then. So I've been part of this practice, but I just go see like whoever's available, right? I don't fucking care. And I haven't had the energy and wherewithal to put into finding a new primary care physician because I got to find someone I can explain all this shit to who might take me seriously. You know what I mean? I don't want to fucking go through that. I am so over doctors at this point, as you guys well know. The executive function it would take to find a new doctor, I don't have that in me right now. I haven't had it in me. So anyway, took the next available appointment essentially. And actually it was going to be some weeks out and I got on the cancellation list. And so they called me like the next day essentially and had an appointment for the following week. This was a few weeks ago at this point. And it was with a provider that I've never seen before. She's a physician's assistant. Right. And I wasn't expecting anything from this appointment other than maybe hopefully being helped with this random rash. And like, yeah, I could have gone to see my dermatologist, but of course that was going to take a while to get into. And I didn't think it was anything like completely in left field, right? Like some of the other topical stuff that I deal with is more rare. Right. So I figured I didn't need like a specialty appointment. So anyway, but I was clearly not prepared for this particular medical provider. Yeah. So without going into a deep dive, right, about the histamine intolerance and all the rest of this shit, I'm just trying to explain to her the actual rash, that it appears similar to something I've had in the past, although different, et cetera, et cetera. And as I'm explaining all of this to her, she's listening to me, but I can tell she's also reading my chart out of the corner of her eye, right? As she's listening to me, she's sort of like glancing back and forth between me and the computer. And I can just see it in her face, right? She's taking in like all of this medical history and her brow is beginning to furrow. And of course, I'm also sharing with her all of the prescription topical medications I have at home, right, that I have been trying on this rash to see if anything will have an effect. Right. And most people don't have an entire cornucopia, right, of current like prescription based shit like this that they can just pull from and try, right? That immediately signals, yeah, chronic illness, chronic nonsense, right? So, and I don't know what possessed me to just start telling her more of the story, something about her vibe. I don't really know, you guys. But I was like, fuck it. And so I was trying to explain to her why I have all of these, right, prescriptions at home. And long story short, you guys, she fucking heard me. Like she heard me. She heard everything I was saying. And combined with my entire chart that she's like skimming as we're talking, she quickly realized that I was someone in need of desperate help, and I have not been receiving that help. And so I told her, I said, you can see on my chart how sick I've been, right? How many doctors I've been to, how many referrals I've worked through, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And she's nodding like, yeah, I fucking see it. I said, and then you can see that I've hardly been to the doctor at all for the last couple of years. And she's like, yeah, I see that too. And I was like, yeah, you want to know why? This is why. And I just, right, gave her the spiel, including the autism piece. Well, guess what? I didn't even have to tell her that. She was already tracking that because, come to find out, you guys, she is the mother of an autistic child. Ta-da! And yeah, judging by her mannerisms, I would be surprised if she were not somewhere on the spectrum herself, unsurprisingly. But you guys, you know what this means? She was recognizing all of these things. She was picking up on this pattern, all of my health issues, how they all relate to each other, how they relate to my neurodevelopmental disabilities, all the rest of it, because she's dealing with some of the same shit with her kid, right? Yeah. So you guys, she's taking me on as her patient, as like her special project, essentially. She doesn't have room in her roster for a full-time new patient, right? But she's putting me on her roster temporarily while she, one, helps me, and two, starts vetting all of the other physicians in the practice so that she can find someone either knowledgeable enough or open-minded enough to actually properly fucking help me going forward. You guys, I did it. I found someone to help me. I know, I'm already crying about it. I was crying. You guys, I have never cried so much in public like I did that day. Seriously. And she saw it. I was just... It made me realize how much I really did think I was never going to find someone to help me. I really didn't. And yeah, I mean, you guys, at one point, I'm like breaking down, and not only is this woman hearing me, listening to me, actually properly seeing me, she then asked if I wanted a hug. And you know me, I don't like hugs, but yeah, I wanted a fucking hug right then. Yeah, so you guys, my life just changed overnight. Seriously, she ordered a cornucopia of tests and procedures and all sorts of shit. She's got referrals for me. She is referring me to a new fucking rheumatologist, you guys, who specializes in Ehlers-Danlos syndrome. Specializes in it, you guys. I know. I know. I still, like I said, I still haven't completely like processed this. I still can't actually wrap my head around this. But yeah, I mean, she's sending me to an integrative medicine clinic. I mean, she's just across the board, right? And she's super concerned, obviously, with the strict low histamine diet, right? And how long I've been on it and all the rest of it. So one of the things she did was she ordered a bunch of labs, which, like I've been saying, is something I've been really curious about to know, right, where my levels are in terms of vitamins, minerals, all the rest of it. And, you know, my cholesterol, blood sugar, like all of that. So I'm not going to go through all those test results right now. I am going to share a couple of them, though, because, yeah. First, my vitamins and minerals. Yeah, I'm not deficient in anything, which is fucking phenomenal, right? Good job, me. However, I have toxic levels of some vitamins right now, like seriously toxic levels. Mostly my B vitamins, which of course I've been supplementing, right, for years, because I was low B12 at some point. I'm trying to think of when that was, 2021 maybe. Those were some labs that my psychiatric nurse practitioner had run, to see what we could see there. And of course, B12 tends to be low in people like me, so she wanted to see me start supplementing it. Well, okay, great. B complex, that just became part of my supplement routine. And it became a routine, and I just kept supplementing it. I don't know. I didn't stop to think like maybe I don't actually need these supplements anymore, right? Again, I'm not a fucking doctor. I think I've mentioned that once or twice. But the body is supposed to flush excess B vitamins, especially, right? My body's not flushing them for some reason. Yeah. And there are a couple of other issues, serious issues that I've been having for the last couple of years that now appear to be caused by the toxic levels of B vitamins I've been carrying around. So that sucks, like really bad. I'm not going to go into what those symptoms are right now, but I'm hoping that now that I'm not supplementing the B vitamins anymore, that this is something that can heal and resolve, because, yeah, it would fucking suck if I just gave myself more chronic issues to deal with, right? From fucking vitamins and supplements, which, it's a large reason why I was very anti vitamins and supplements for most of my adult life, because, it gets tricky. Anyway, so there's that, but at least we now know. And of course, now she wants to investigate why the fuck I'm not flushing excess B vitamins. So we'll be trying to figure that out. Throw it on the pile. And then I wasn't really thinking about the fact that rashes in general tend to be really obvious frontline symptoms for autoimmune conditions, right? Yeah. So that's immediately where her mind went, especially when I told her that, like, my eczema cream, my prescription eczema stuff, which I can never pronounce, triacinnamide, I don't know. It's got way too many syllables. It's got too many syllables. I don't like that word. Anyway, it was helping, but it wasn't completely resolving it, right? It's not a very strong formula. Because it's just for my eczema. But because it was helping, right, it showed that it was clearly an immune system issue of some sort. So you know what she tested it again, you guys? She tested my ANA titers. And I'm trying to think if I've mentioned the ANA titers on the podcast or just on Threads in a comment or post here or there. So essentially, ANA titers, anti-nuclear antibody titers, I don't remember the fucking specifics, you guys. It's me. But essentially, they tend to point to an autoimmune issue. Most often, they point to something like lupus. And so that's when my ANA titers were high in the ER during that first flare. That's what precipitated my first referral to a rheumatologist. And he ran more of the labs, right, that tend to point towards lupus. And except for one of those values, which again was in that sort of like equivocal range, he essentially ruled out lupus. But the ANA titers seem to spike when I'm in a flare. So one of my subsequent flares, I was able to have a doctor test them again, and they were high. And the doctor that I saw, this new doctor, yeah, she could see that, those results in my chart. She said that was the highest ANA titer reading she's ever seen, right? This is what I mean. They go through the roof. So she tested them again. Guess what, you guys? Guess what's fucking through the roof again? Yep, my ANA titers. I was right. There's something wrong. And this is what I mean by being so fucking clued in to what's going on in my body now. I knew there was something going on. It's not a flare. It's not acting like a flare, but it's something. So, yeah, I mean, that would suck if it's an actual autoimmune condition cropping up now. It wouldn't be surprising, right? For someone like me, it's honestly surprising I'm not already dealing with an autoimmune condition, right? So we'll see. And based on the current specific stress I'm under, an autoimmune condition would make even more sense. So now we're sussing that out. So anyway, you guys, what the fuck? Overnight, my entire situation has changed. I have found someone who is committed to helping me. And she is like committed to helping me, which is, yeah, part of why I think she's at least part of the broader, autistic phenotype. Because, yeah, she's clearly like taking this on as a challenge. She's like, oh, no, no, we're going to fucking figure this out. Right. And she fucking feels bad for me, you guys. Like, she clearly feels horrible that I have been so brushed off, so ignored, so humiliated, so gaslit, all the rest of it. Like, you could just see it in her face. She feels awful as a representative of her profession, essentially. And seems to sort of be taking this on as like a personal mission, right? To rectify this situation, which is fucking unconscionable. It really fucking is. That's how sick I've been. And it was so fucking gratifying to finally find a medical professional who can see how much I've been fucking suffering and can see how fucking unfair and unjust it's been that I haven't gotten the help I've needed, right? And that I've had to turn to this ridiculous fucking diet to help myself. But again, I'm still glad it's worked out that way, right? Because the diet, yeah, has helped me figure out all sorts of other shit, which I still haven't shared with you guys, but I'm gonna, you guys, we're getting there. We're fucking getting there. So my medical prospects, yeah, like I said, overnight, completely changed. I didn't really think about the fact that, of course, now she's loading me up with all this new like lab work and new doctors to see and referrals and shit. And I'm kind of like, oh yeah, I didn't actually want to start going to see a bunch of doctors again. Like, seriously, I'm like, oh, wait a minute. I have to actually go see these doctors, though, like schedule appointments. Anyway, but I'm going to do it because, yeah, I still got to figure this out, right? And now if there's something else I'm dealing with, yeah. Anyway, so that's my development. One of them, there are quite a few current developments on our, inexorable march to a better life. I don't know. But yeah, things are shifting, things are changing. I'm not going to go into details right now. My living situation is going to be changing this coming weekend. So that's quite a bit of, change and transition on my plate. That is ultimately, I think, going to be fabulous, but of course is going to be, tricky for at least a minute. Right, the classic struggle. The ADHD is going to love it. The autism is not going to love it at all. But it is going to lower my stress level quite a bit in terms of just what my day-to-day, week-by-week life looks like. So that is something. We got the medical stuff shifting. We got housing stuff shifting. And then I start my new job next week, you guys. Have I even mentioned this? I don't know, but I have a job. And yeah, I'm how do I feel about this? I'm excited. There are many aspects of the job that are going to be fabulous. Obviously, earning an income is fabulous. But it is a job. It is going back to working regularly, which is going to be, it's going to be a transition, right? But it's not full time. I don't know. I think it would be a little risky going from my current life to attempting to work full time. I mean, full time hours, full time income would be amazing right now in a lot of respects. But it might put me into the fucking ground too. Because, now I know what I'm working with, right? So the shame, which is pretty fucking epic, the shame I hold for not working, for not earning an income, and for not having worked for this many years, I can now override that at least a little bit, right? By being realistic about the fact that, I'm dealing with ADHD, I'm autistic, I'm chronically ill, right? And potentially newly ill with something. Dealing with this horrifically stressful situation, like so many things up in the air, my life is still really fucking hard and stressful at this point. So adding a job on top of that, is gonna, add a lot. So it's only going to be part-time for now, which is going to be more than enough, I think. So anyway, things are changing. Things are shifting. Is it going to make recording the podcast easier? I actually think it is, you guys. The new living situation, I hope, is going to offer more regular opportunities for recording the podcast, for starting to make some other forms of content, like video content, because this is still what I want to be doing, even though it, slow going, eh? But this is still the goal. This is still what I want to be doing. So this is still what we're going to be doing. But I wanted to get something recorded today just to check in with you guys since it's been, some number of weeks. Time, man, it just doesn't stop, does it? Yeah, and I gotta, again, keep reminding myself, these don't need to be long. They don't need to be fancy. They don't need to be information heavy. They just have to be. So that's what we're doing right here, making it happen. Yeah, so lots of changes still, always, forever. I don't know. This is a cycle of, it's a long cycle of change right now. Eventually, things will settle down, but they sure as fuck are not settled at this moment in time. But I'm still doing what I can do. Oh, the good news, more good news. I suppose all the medical stuff is good news, but so I guess it would be more good news on the physical front. I think I mentioned one of the ways I realized something was really wrong was at the beginning of the year, my VO2 max completely tanked, right? And your VO2 max measures the maximum amount of oxygen the body can consume during exercise. And that capacity has really increased for me in a major way over the last few years. And so it was significant, right, that it tanked at the beginning of this year. And so I've been on like a few runs and walks since then just to sort of see what it was going to do. And it continued to tank for a while. But just in the last, week, 2, it's starting to turn around. And I'm really fucking excited. I'm really happy about that, you guys. It's a big deal for me that my VO2 max has gotten as high as it's gotten. And again, it is one of the best measurements we currently have for, longevity, right? And as someone in middle age now, this is a significant area of focus, or it should be, right, for health and longevity. So really fucking excited. I wasn't sure if whatever I'm currently dealing with was enough to, sort of override that. Like if it was just going to continue tanking, if I wasn't going to be able to turn it around. But that does not seem to be the case. So that is really fucking exciting because not fucking exercising is killing me. Oh my God. On top of everything else, right? The exercise is how I stay regulated at this point. I mean, the diet, yes, everything else, but the exercise is such a key fundamental piece. And I have not been able to rely on that. So I'm hopeful that now I can just sort of start leaning back into that a little more heavily. I am dealing with like a hip injury. Seriously, whenever it's my hips, it makes me feel particularly old, right? That I got a bad hip. I can't tell what it is. I don't think it's bursitis. I don't know. It could just be low-grade inflammation. I might have just fucked it up a little bit on, a couple of runs ago. I think I came down particularly hard at one point on the trail. So it may just be that. But yeah, it's to the point where I've now had to lay off of it for a few days so I don't make it worse, which is really fucking hard for me, you guys, when I injure myself. Ugh. And I have to back off so I don't just make it worse. Yeah, that's really hard for me. So I really want to go for a run today, and I'm not going to do it because it's better, but it's not better enough. So, God damn it. Even though it pisses me off, I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait for tomorrow. I'm not going to go for a run. We're not doing it. Anyway, but hopefully tomorrow we can go for that run and see what the VO2 max does. And hopefully we are back in business, you guys, because I need to be running. It's gotten to the point where I'm like craving it. I'm like thinking about it all the time. I'm like, I need to be running. So I'm just desperate for regular runs at this point, which is hilarious. I never thought I would get here, right, as a person in terms of just health and fitness on a daily basis. Like, not, I don't dread exercise anymore, you guys. I look forward to it, and I dread when I can't do it. I know. I know. It's really fucking cool. So anyway, all right, you guys, I don't know what the fuck this is. It's fucking episode 6 is what it is. I got a lot on my plate, and I'm still trying to make this work. And if you guys are still here or newly here, coming along for the ride, wherever you are, seriously, thank you for being here. We're still making it work. And yeah, it's just going to be unique, like everything else about me and my life. Because I'm a special snowflake, like we all are. All right, you guys, that's going to be that. We're going to do this again soon. I don't know. Put it in quotes if you want to. And yeah, we're just going to keep on keeping on because that's all we can fucking do. Yeah, I'm not even going to talk about current events right now because yeah, I'm having a really hard time. We're all having a really hard time. Fucking hell. But yeah, one of my dad's closest friends is Iranian. And yeah, he actually fled here during the revolution in 79. Yeah, I got thoughts and feelings and words on what's happening right now, but we're going to save those for another time. So I hope you guys are hanging in there like the best you can, whatever that looks like for you, because yeah, that's all we can do right now. We're just going to continue getting bad news, and we're just going to have to continue absorbing that the best we can and keep going. That's all we can do. And we're doing it together, right? Because that makes everything better. Well, sometimes. Sometimes. All right, my friends, that's going to do it. I'm Hildy, and this is My Autism Disco. Catch you on the flip side.